My name is Oscar Almeida. Been sober since July 4th. I started using drugs at the age of 18, 17, 18, to keep up with my workload. A coworker introduced it to me, said I could get more accomplished, work harder, work faster, and make more money. Man, he was right, but I had no idea what the ramifications were, what the outcome, or how addictive that drug was. Not knowing 17 years later I would be struggling and take 17 years to get clean. After about a year of using, it became an everyday. To get up in the morning, I had to use to get going. Throughout the day, I had to use several times to just to maintain, because I would barely sleep. You know, sometimes 2 or 3 days I would go without sleep and continue to work in the evenings, and it became a must to be able to function. And it became a very, very expensive habit. It touched every relationship in my life, with my family, friends, coworkers. I mean, everything about my life was touched by addiction. Began losing friends and people who had entrusted in me. To keep up that expensive habit took a lot of work and a lot of dishonesty at times to keep that habit going. I hurt a lot of family members, and some of them still have never recovered. I still don't talk to some of them today. I have collectively about four years incarcerated through county time in prison. All that were stemmed, are fueled by addiction, most. It's a very lonely, dark place when you know that you're doing wrong, and you know that you need to change your ways, change your life. It's stuck in an addictive pattern that's really hard to do by yourself. You have to really, really want it. You have to really fight for it. Obviously what I was doing wasn't working, and doing it my way for so many years, I wasn't successful. This last time around, I think I was just ready for change, ready to do life different. And having that time alone, God always seems to talk to me more. Obviously, when you have no outside communication, very little. And a turning point to get clean was meeting Candace. She was definitely the reason, the biggest reason. Her lifestyle that she lived was so honest and so clean and open, and there's nothing that was hidden. And when you live in that addictive life, there's a lot of secrecy, and living that secret life it's a lonely place, and you feel it's a heavy burden to carry, to live a life of addiction that's, a closet addict, or it takes a lot out of you. And when you experience that sense of freedom, or that sense of like this is normal, that these people function this way, and I was never ever in a relationship and raised to where everything was so open and free, and that really, I admired, the family. I admired her friendships. I admired her relationships with people, because they were so honest and clean. Forgiving myself has been probably the hardest thing, knowing that every day is a new day, but forgiving myself for things I've done, my shortcomings, and things I haven't done that I should have been doing. That's been the hardest challenge for me, is forgiving myself through this time of recovery. So when I was incarcerated this last time, I lost rights and custody to my daughter. I was unable to attend the hearing being incarcerated, and my ex-wife's husband adopted my daughter in the midst of me being incarcerated. There were some things previously that led up to me not being able to see her, and that's forgiving myself as, for allowing, my negligence and not being what I'm supposed to be. I've had to own that. I've had to own every bit of it, and not a day goes by that I don't think about, just the poor choices I made and how it affected, my kids, my daughter specifically.
So what advice would you give to someone who is struggling?
I would tell them to keep showing up, keep going to church, keep doing their meetings, keep, whatever you're doing to make those steps forward to remain sober, just keep doing it. Eventually that baggage will start to drop off and build your relationship with God. Just keep showing up.